Good morning, everybody. Looks like I messed up a little bit by misplacing this video, so I have to redo it. And it was for yesterday, so I don't know what happened there. There was some sort of failure to retain the video and a failure to deploy it. So yeah, not really sure what's going on there, and I apologize. It's Proverbs 30 and 31 that we're looking at. And the thought that struck me on this is even the wisest person, when confronted by the greatness of God, has that feeling of well, the wise man calls himself stupid in comparison. We're not allowed to do that, but I understand what he is saying. Um, that we're not all that intelligent when we compare ourselves to the intelligence of our God. We're not all that wise when we compare ourselves to the wisdom of God. And this is the reason why we need to operate with what He gives us, because the source is Him and not ourselves. Yeah. We find the same thing with Job. When Job was calling out about the injustice of his situation. And Job did not realize that the Lord wanted to use him for his glory. He was bragging on Job and really was telling our enemy that Job was so much more than what the enemy thought he was. And Job fell short. And just to get him into that right place again, the Creator had Job compare himself to the Creator, and that puts things in perspective. And Job did obviously what needed to be done. He humbled himself. He repented. And this is a thing that we're supposed to walk humbly before the Lord. And what that means is realizing that we don't have the resources that we need, that we are dependent on our Father. And that's the relationship He wants us to understand. We are dependent on Him. That is the proper relationship. Growing into independence is not the objection here at all. That's not His desire for us. He wants us to grow into greater dependence on Him. Because He has everything that we need. We've been created wonderfully. We are wonderfully made. We really are. But with the mission that He's given to us, He needs to be so much more than what we are. He needs us to be what He intended us to be. And that is part of Him, connected to Him. That's why Jesus said that outside of Him we can't do anything. But yet we can. But what Jesus is talking about is we can't do anything to our original purpose. We can't do anything that is of any eternal worth. It's only what is produced in us through Him that's going to make it into eternity. And that's so important for us. But when we consider the largeness of our God, and we need to realize how big He is and stop making Him as small as we are, reducing Him down to what we find acceptable. When we allow Him to be who He is, it makes us feel quite small and insignificant, which is natural. But that's not where He wants us to be, because He wants us to understand who we are. We are His kids. We are His children. And so what we realize is that we've also been given the scripture that says, if He is for us, who can be against us? And that's amazing scripture. We shouldn't be lost in His greatness. We should be encouraged by His greatness. We shouldn't feel insignificant. We should feel important that Jesus Christ, the grandness of God, went to the cross because He loves us. That means we're significant, not insignificant. We're important, not unimportant. We have value. We're not devalued. We're not devalued by the largeness of a God. We are valued by the attention He gives to us. That's important to remember today. So yeah, let's keep Him as big as we can possibly imagine Him, because He's beyond our imagination. So go to the limits of your imagination, and He's so much more than that. Don't limit Him by your limitations, and celebrate it. because all of that loves you. You guys have a great day. God bless.